All right, guys. Yesterday I told you about something very interesting point, a very interesting point about real estate taxes, real estate taxes in Texas. So in Texas, I told you about that the real estate taxes are high. If the income tax is zero, then the real estate taxes are high, right? So you need to. I'll tell you some very interesting points about real estate taxes in Texas, and you'll be surprised how these things work. So you have to understand one thing: if Texas is giving you income tax free, then they are charging you somewhere else. They have to. Otherwise, how would they run the state? Right? They have to charge the money somewhere, right? So this is what many people ignore and they don't understand. Here in this case, they are charging directly from you, from the person who is moving to that. Real estate taxes, I already told you that those are very high and everything. I'll tell you another interesting factor, which nobody will tell you till the time, and then you can do the research, Google for it, and then you will find out more about it. And it's something that you can find out after Googling. But if you say factors that impact my move to Texas, then these things will not come in front of you. Then these things will not come in front of you. And if you ask anybody how the real estate taxes work, even then they may not tell you all these things properly. So I'll tell you one interesting factor. So then you evaluate, try to Google it and try to prove to me, send me the Google string and ask me to Google, and I will be very happy to Google and check whether my ideas are somewhere else, someone has already talked about these things or not. These things are very unique. I'm going to tell you those things only which really it will be very hard for you to find on Google. And I'm all about that, telling you those interesting points which impact your life, which should impact your decisions. But then you would come to know about all those things when you're already in the situation. After 5-6 years, when it will hit you, only then you would know about all these things. So this is a very interesting point, right? Keep listening. Let's say you bought a house for $500,000 and you are living happily ever after, and you're living happily there. Now let's say after 10 years, the price of the house becomes $1 million because the real estate value is increased. Will the taxes become doubled or not, is my question. And you haven't sold the house, you are still living there. Same person. Do the research, try to find the answer. Okay, do the research yourself and find the answer. What will happen in California? Let's say you buy a house for $500,000 in Sacramento, and the price of the house increases to $1 million after 10 years. What would the taxes be? Do you have any idea? Do you know how this works? Let's say after it hits 1 million, or then the market falls and it again becomes $500,000. Okay, then what the taxes will be in Texas for the same home. Let's say you're still keep on living there. What would happen in California? You're making a fair comparison. See, I give you a car and say that the price of the car is 100,000 and this car is worth 80,000. But then you eventually find out in $80,000 car, you have to every single year spend $5,000 to $6,000 extra. Then now you know the true cost of ownership of that car and versus this car. On this car, you have to spend only $100. Then you know the true cost of ownership. So this is a very important factor. What will happen? I have some answer for you here. I have some answer for you here. For the price increase. In New Jersey, by the way, I spent some time in New Jersey, and that's how it works in Texas also. In New Jersey and in Texas, one should never go to New Jersey. I'll talk more about it. In New Jersey and in Texas, both the places, your taxes will become doubled. So imagine you are sitting in a house, living happily, and all of a sudden you get a tax bill. Your electricity bill is doubled. I'm not saying electricity bill gets doubled in Texas. I'm just telling you the gravity of it. You must have gotten the electricity bill yesterday, right? Last month. Let's say this month you did nothing. You did the same amount of usage, and the amount is doubled. It will give you a shock, right? Same shock happens to the people in Texas when all of a sudden they start to get the double property tax bill. You know what the property tax already would be? On a $500,000, $600,000 property, it will be to the tune of $10,000 to $12,000. All of a sudden, it will be $24,000 because some neighbor sold his house for $1 million, and they will reassess your value and they will do your reassessment of your taxes. I think the word is reassessment. If you make a search for reassessment of taxes, how does it happen? That's when you will understand how the taxes in Texas work. And in California, they stay the same. They stay the same. Think about this. Whether you bring your car 5 times or whether you bring it once, I will just charge the same. Difference, right? You know, my point is, you guys know it in the day-to-day life, but you don't know how this will come and hit you one day. So in New Jersey, I knew this for sure as a fact. Many old people, when they are the age of 65, they cannot pay those elevate because they have the limited source of income, right? At the age of 70 or something, they're retired, they have 70 years, they are 70 years of age, and all of a sudden their taxes in 2005 and 6 went up, hugely up. Like the house was for 400K and their taxes became like 1.2. They started to get assessed at $1.2 million, and all of a sudden the scale of the taxes changed. Scale of the real estate prices changed, and that changed the scale of the taxes also. And all of a sudden they started to get 3 to 4 times bigger bills of property tax. What is your property tax now? Yearly property tax. And what would be your property tax if it becomes 4 times? You need to understand how this will impact your life. This would mean you have to sell your house. These property taxes are so high, you may have to sell your house if it becomes 4 times, right? This is exactly what happened in New Jersey in 2005 and 6. This is a fact. This is a story. You can Google and find out. And same way, these may hit you in Texas. In Texas. The same way. So you need to really dig into these things. See guys, in this country, I'm going to tell you interesting principle now today. There's a principle, and you will see this being applied everywhere. And you might have seen this principle in action in American life. And I'm telling you that principle today. The principle is, if it is 7 minus 10, that is you're losing 3, and or 6 minus 10, then you're losing 10 but gaining 6 things. They will keep on telling you about those 6 things, but won't tell you about those 10 things. You need to have your own mind. You have to have your own open mind, and you have to analyze yourself, and you have to do your own research to try to find all the factors which are basically minus 10, which basically make it a minus 10 proposition. So net loss is minus 4, right? Net loss is like 4. You basically lose more, but still the system of this country is they will keep telling you all those 6 factors which basically are positive. This is a system in this country. That's how it will work, right? I'm talking about professionals. I'm not a professional. I'm your friend. I'm just telling you some things which matter to me, which matter. I'm not again trying to tell you either all the 10 factors or all the 6 factors. I'm only telling you one factor. You need to factor this in to understand how you get impacted. This is one other factor which should be part of your analysis. Do your research, find more factors, but remember this factor too. This country is all about 6 minus 10. In this country, if there are 10 losses and 6 wins, they'll keep on telling you about the 6 things which are in your favor. If you go to a real estate agent in Texas, he will keep telling you here the taxes are very low. He will not tell you, himself is supposed to tell you more about property taxes, but they won't tell you about property taxes. So they'll keep trumpeting that. They'll keep on saying these things, and I will show you more and more cases of such things in this country. But I think that is not what my whole thing is all about. My thing is all about NRI tech is they should understand, like when they want to move to Texas, they should be able to evaluate this thing quite heavily. Like they should be able to evaluate, on the basis of various factors, whether it's the right thing for them to do or not. Whether they should go to some other place like Sacramento or San Diego or some suburb of LA, or whether they should just move to Texas. That's the whole idea, right? I'm not saying just keep staying in Bay Area. Bay Area has its own issues. You can always but move to Walkerville or Sacramento or Fairfield or as I said, to many other places like LA suburbs or San Diego suburbs, and you'll be probably better off. All right, guys. So thank you very much.